Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, with my real estate entrepreneur, Omar. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty great.
Hey,
It's
man.
always Saturday.
It's always Saturday. Every day Saturday. That's right. I'm going to get that
I
shirt,
took
man.
it from you. I took it from you.
You can have it every day Saturday. Hey, what I want to talk to you about today is there's a lot of talk about bubbles out there, and there may be some very localized bubble. I'm starting to think Boise, Idaho, for example, is starting to feel a little bubble-like to me. But you and I experienced the last bubble. We were kind of in the throes of it. We saw people get hurt. We saw people profit, right? We both know people that profited handsomely.
Yeah.
So I thought we should talk about what a bubble feels like, because I just want people to be clear, at least in most markets in the US, I don't feel a bubble today. I think there are some very localized ones popping off, like Boise. But I think most of the country, not a bubble. So I thought we should talk about what it feels like. You remember those times?
Yeah. In literally 05, 06, everything was just happening so fast back then. Not that it's not happening fast now, but it had a different demeanor. Like the Pizza Hut guy, the McDonald's lady, the drive-through person that you were paying your money to was buying houses, or they were buying houses for 300K.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Going through this process of it and seeing like everyone can afford a house right now. Why is that?
Yeah.
And that right there, and then it was stated income.
Exactly.
Honestly, I mean, hey, I got my first house in a stated income. I'm different. I mean, it was there, cool. It was an 80-20 loan, stated income, and that dynamic back then, it felt like we were in a little like, oh my God, this is like a nice. It feels great. Everything's going.
Nirvana. It feels wonderful.
Yeah. Yes, I'm getting commission checks for big money, and it's like, oh, this is cool. All right, well, this is good. And then, what? Everything's gone.
Yeah.
Overnight, and it's like, what the hell happened just now?
Yeah.
And right now, this bubble, or I'm not going to say bubble, this market, it's healthier. There's still people that are buying that probably shouldn't buy. But because of the interest rate being so low, so last time it was no income, stated you can qualify for whatever you want to qualify, right? You can just lie. Yeah. Now you can't lie, but the government pretty much dropped the rates, so you can technically afford everything.
Yes.
And honestly, people that shouldn't have or buy houses are buying homes, which is great. Home ownership is on the rise. It's awesome. It's the best thing. But I don't know what's going to happen in this market.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of factors that's going to sustain that it's still healthy.
Yeah. We're certainly not in a bubble. And you're like the high desert, Fresno, we're not in a bubble. Affordability in both markets is very healthy today.
Yeah.
One of the things that I remember most is, so being a landlord for 20 years, my worst time to be a landlord was 05, 06. I was losing tenants to become homeowners. Now, on the surface, that's a great thing, right? I believe in home ownership. I've said many times, the only reason I'm still here is that my family owned their home. They bought it in the 70s, and it was a piggy bank for us through some pretty rough times. So I believe in home ownership, but I believe in home ownership for people that can afford it, because I was losing tenants who didn't qualify to be tenants, right? I required first month and deposit, which at the time could be like 25 or maybe $3,000. I actually had applicants I denied buy a home. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, and you were in it with rentals. Okay. I wasn't. It was more of, I had just started buying some rentals in 09 and 10.
Yeah.
I only had 2 houses, I think, during that boom.
Yeah. But the bubble, a bubble is, the biggest sign of a bubble is, for me, people get yes answers to buy that should get a no answer. And that is absolutely not happening today.
Oh no, you have to qualify.
You have to qualify. The lending standards today are far stricter, far better. Also, the loan products are better. They're fixed rate 30 years, not these silly teaser loans. So again, at least in Fresno, in the high desert, we are not in a bubble.
Nope.
The first sign for me was people were getting yes answers that shouldn't. That was a big deal. The other one that I experienced, and again, one of the reasons I go to real estate meetups is because I want to see the vibe of the room, right? I want to see where I want to know where the herd is going so I can get out of the way, right? I've done that several times now. And in that '05 period, '06, everybody was talking single family homes. Everyone. They were talking these loan products, these 2 and 28s, and they were saying things like housing never goes down, housing only goes up. They were upset when they only got 10% appreciation in a year. It just felt like funny money. It really did.
That's funny you should say that. Funny money. Monopoly money.
Monopoly money. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I remember now looking back at it and be like, yeah, money was just flowing. I mean, it wasn't printed as much as it is now.
Yeah.
But it was a different dynamic.
Yeah. And what I'm seeing today, again, and why I don't think we have a bubble is, yes, we have people going over asking and waiving appraisals, all of that stuff, but it's a very different vibe. What we were seeing last time is it was sort of like a 60, 40, 70, 30 split owner occupant investors. What we're seeing today, it's for the most part, it's like 90, 10. There are so few houses. Everybody's an owner occ that's buying.
Right.
So the investors, at least the people that follow one rental at a time, aren't buying it in great numbers because we only buy good or great deals. If you overpay, it doesn't cash flow. So really today, investors aren't playing in a meaningful way. And I think that's going to change when inventory doubles and we start to get days on market and price drops and things of that nature. But again, we're not in a bubble today because investors aren't doing bad deals. Investors did bad deals last time because they got the fear of missing out last time for investors was real. I think investors are being far more disciplined today. Owner occs are maybe overpaying, but again, they're payments. So where are we? But I don't think investors are going nuts today.
But I will add to that though, the seasoned investor is not going crazy. Okay. And they're not overpaying.
That's true.
The new people, because it's sexy, it's the new thing to do. Yeah. People that shouldn't have a real estate license are flipping houses. Yeah. And then people are flipping houses all of a sudden, which that is the recipe, my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Of something that if you're not truly knowing what to do and you're leveraged to the hill, the only thing that's benefiting you right now is the appreciation. Yeah. That's it. If that's the difference.
I agree. I think and again, it's funny. If you guys go back and watch Omar's playlist, we have probably 100 hours of material now. About 9 months ago, we said the easiest thing to do was be a flipper. And like 45 days ago, we're like, ooh, if you have a flip that could get out by the end of the summer, cool. But I don't think I would take on like a 500 square foot addition or, turn a 2-1 into a 3-2. It's not the time, right? Because if you're going to exit early next year, I think you're going to be in a different market. So yeah, I agree. I think there's some flippers doing bad deals. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a good deal from a wholesaler in a year.
Hey, and that right there will tell you, because if wholesalers are doing their thing, okay, but there's a difference. I will add this. The wholesalers that are now understanding, and some of them, and maybe after they listen to this, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. When you give away a contract at $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, cool, right? But the person that's buying it is now making more because of the length and the appreciation that the market's going through. Yeah. Okay. So right now, there's a lot of wholesale, and then trust me, they all come to me and they say, hey, oh, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?
Yeah.
Nope. Why? Because they're not maybe their spread's too high. And this is something that's going to change, though. I guarantee you in the next 6 months, 12 months, a lot of these wholesalers are out of business.
I agree. I think right now the hardest thing to do is be a wholesaler, because what you don't realize about real estate markets, unless you're in it like Omar and I, is you can see what's coming, but it takes a while to unfold. Real estate is not stocks. Stocks change in a second, a minute, an hour, a day, a week. Real estate dominoes fall, and it takes days, months, quarters to ripple through. Oof. So right now, wholesalers are acting like it's 5 months ago, not realizing that the market and supply and all of that's going to change. And yeah, if you're running a marketing spend and you're bringing product to market that nobody wants, or less and less people want, you could go out of business if you're not careful.
Yeah. Or you don't have the money to sustain it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, bubbles feel there really is a fear of missing out. I don't feel it from investors. I don't, the lending is remarkably different. There's just a lot of things. I do think there's some creeping things with flipping. I thought that was a great point. There are a lot of new flippers that are just getting in.
Just getting in.
Just getting in. Yeah. If you were flipping 9 months ago when we told you it was the easiest thing to do, you made money, right? Real estate's like this. If you're starting today and you're going to exit in January or February, not sure. Not sure.
If you're not seasoned, you know, and you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
That I want to throw that in there too,
You're
because
right.
you've been doing this a while. You know the deal. You know how this works. I've been doing this for 12 years or something, 13 years. So it's like what people think a deal isn't good now because of the appreciation and what everybody wants. Back then, we were only making 18,000 bucks a house.
Yeah.
22,000, right?
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
that was still okay.
Yeah. Folks, again, understanding you got to do the work. I mean, something hopefully you're hearing on one rental at a time from Omar and I is you got to do the work. You got to be disciplined. Most markets aren't a bubble. I do think a couple of little ones are forming, but be careful, do the work, be smart. And of course, have a wonderful day. So Omar, if somebody wanted to join your amazing team, how would they do that?
Reach out to me, guys, 760-559-9945, or reach out to me at Omar_Alfaro on my IG. Trust me, we're going to start scaling. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to increase our team because we got a lot of leads coming. So
yeah, one of the things, folks, if you're in the high desert, you need to be on Omar's teams, top producer. But the reason he also builds millionaires, because he brings his real estate entrepreneurship to the table. He shows you not only how to be a great agent, but he'll also introduce you to investing. He's constantly investing in his people. It is amazing to watch and be a part of. So folks, if you're in the high desert, you need to join his team. Again, one more time, Omar, what's your number?
760-559-9945. Reach out, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Take care.